Hello there folks and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today is time for part 12 of Season 3 and the second session of the Shanghai Masters semi-final, a best of 19 frames against the Welsh Potter Machine, Mark Williams. Now, the first session, a 6-frame session, ended in a stalemate, and 6 frames in, it is 3 frames apiece and a scoreline that reflects the session, to be quite honest. It was quite even. You could argue that potentially we could have led it 4-2, but on balance, I think that 3 each is a good score. Now, I'd love to aim to probably be 7-5 up by the end of this session today. We're playing another 6 frames today, and then in the next episode playing until the end, so a maximum of 7 frames. Looking at how close it is at the moment, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this went to the last frame. But this session, much like the first one, and even more so now, is very important because one player can really assert their dominance. It's been very close so far, but if one player makes it 7-5, even God forbid, especially if it's not us, makes it 8-4, then that can really change the tide of the session. All that needs to happen is for one of us to get some really good momentum, and this game could be all over. Can't hear anything at the moment. There we go. Just checking that the commentary's on. I'm not a big fan of folds and I was going to say Herbert then. What's his bloody name? Dave Hendon. That's that Herbert. God knows. I think I was going between Dave Gilbert and Dave Hendon, obviously. Deary me. I don't know what planet I'm on today. Right, we've got to play this fairly accurately or else we'll just have a cannon on the red and we won't be on anything next time. So we've got to play this at a fairly accurate pace with this backspin.
Chance nonetheless.
We haven't, and we'll get that. We'll get that cannon and it's not going to work. I said that before. And we can play a safety, so nothing lost particularly. But I said we need to play that fairly accurately. And we're not on anything. So we'll just line this up fairly close to the green. And that's okay. Is that going to hit the jaw? It is. It's not quite gone straight across the tail, but the angle it's gone, it does leave yet another chance for us in this 7th frame. Hope you guys are good though. I'm really enjoying this match so far. I'm going to go for this one actually. I hope you are enjoying this match so far. I really am. It's a really close one and some great action.
Won't be easy. That split is not bad at all.
It's a good split, but just need the ball to come up as it has. Lovely. The cue ball nicely set potentially for the blue. Or if not, one of the bulk colours. I just cannot call the result at the moment. Some matches you just have a hunch that you're going to win or the opponent's better than you. But in today's match, honestly, I can't pick. Because it is so even and both of us playing pretty well, I think. Made the odd mistake, both of us, sure, but that's always going to happen. Especially in a match as long as this. Bloody hate it when there's a ball floating around the pocket. I'm going to go for the one that's a little bit more awkward, but just for the clarity and insurance that it's going to go in.
That's a top shot.
Yep, it's there. Good pot.
Position looks pretty good to me.
But a big prize on offer, of course. Well, whoever wins this match. Hopefully it's us, but if it's not, then for Mark Williams, £100,000 and a place in the Shanghai Masters final.
This into the right corner pocket.
And I think I've mentioned it in every video in the Shanghai Masters so far, so I'm definitely not going to today. I'm just going to say last year's final. That's it. That's all I'm going to talk about. Because you guys are going to get sick of it thinking, oh, for God's sake, all he bloody talks about is that stupid final. But this year it is really time for redemption now. It's a little bit annoying that there are reds not blocking each of the corner pockets, but certainly hindering a pot on either of those pockets. So we're going to play up for the blue and get rid of the red to one of those corner pockets, just so we've got a little bit more flexibility with the colours.
Nicely played onto a red.
I'm going to play... no, I'm not going, sorry. I'm going to stick with my original plan. Seemed like a good opportunity to get rid of that one, but no. I've either hit that a little, in fact a lot. Needs to pull up, this cue ball does.
14.
Luckily we can get to the yellow. I'm just not confident potting the blue from there.
He's looking to pop this into the left corner pocket.
Our Q action's okay at the moment, though. I've obviously had a break between this and the last episode, so could be seen as a little bit rusty, but at the moment we're doing just about okay.
This is not easy.
We've had to work hard for this break so far.
17.
I mean, that black might well... No, it just doesn't. So, blue it is, and then we've got to knock that red in because it's just going to be a pain in the backside. What it could turn into very easily.
Quality striking required here.
Very nice shot.
High quality play here. He's found some form, that's for sure.
Good to hear.
22.
This should be okay. Yep, it's there. So both of these corner pockets are free now. No reds making a misery of themselves. Just getting that gap between the pink and the red to get the red to the middle pocket and play for the blue. But even though the way we've got to play is a little bit unorthodox here, I'm fairly confident we're going to win this frame now.
31.
That's just the jinx that we needed. I realised about halfway through saying that, I thought, oh, do I say that? Do I really say that? Because that statement can only go wrong. Just move that to the right a little bit. There we go, good pot. Apply this one to the middle pocket. Nicely clip cued for that.
36. $37.
Gonna play this one on the cushion, I think.
No real problem here.
Then come back for the blue.
Very nicely done.
But we've started this session nicely. Mark Williams hasn't had a chance yet. We're actually going to play the black next. Don't want to get particularly straight on it if we can help it. It's not too bad.
Nicely onto the colour.
43.
Just check something on the computer there. I was a bit wary that sometimes when I record it jitters a little bit the gameplay, doesn't it? In a match as important as this, I wouldn't want that to happen. So play this red and back up for the blue again. But we're looking good to take this frame. Very structured so far, no mucking about. We've not played that well. Way too straight on it here, so we're going to have to play with some side if we want to get on a red.
Playing this with
It's very hard. Get where we want. And we've got away with it. But we're just a little bit too straight on that blue. For my liking.
56.
Very rare we play fancy
This
shots like
is the
that,
key
but
shot. If this goes in, you fancy
in
it
that
for the frame.
situation we had to. And as you've just heard from the commentators there, that should be enough.
that should be it. No real way for his opponent to win the frame now.
Right, that red will go.
57.
Okay. Might as well look for a century here. That would be great. But actually, can we? Because I think we only got one, didn't we? So yeah, we can do it. Well, we did this in two separate breaks, but you couldn't really call the one red a break, could you? For goodness' sake. Ooh, well, scrap that then. A little bit off with that red there. First miss we've had in today's episode.
Robertson, 64.
But that should be enough, and we take the lead in this second session. Best way to
The
start,
frame.
by taking that frame. The fans seem to like it,
Frame. Mark Williams to break.
and this should be a good second session. Oh, goodness me, that's not the way Mark Williams wants to go, unless he flukes one, to get back in this. No. He's left a few opportunities. Not really good enough from the Welsh potting machine. Just a hit and hope shot here, actually. No, I'm not going to do that. Can we play this one? Yeah. I'm going to play that instead. It's a little bit more assurance of the pot. Not quite have to play it as hard either. It's there. Bounced off both jaws, but it got there in the end. We haven't quite got the ideal position on the blue, so we're going to play... Do we? Do we go for the blue? Just looking at what we can play for the continuity of the break.
Well, he's
Go for hit
taking
and
it
hope
onto
on the
the
yellow.
corner. What a top pot that was.
Let's have a look what position.
There. Really good.
I think we're on something.
3.
Are we? Not really. Unless I'm missing something. I mean, we could play a plant, but no thank you. So... a bit of a hit
Not
and
an
hope
easy
on this
one,
red.
but a half chance.
Oh, that's unfortunate that hasn't
not this
dropped,
time.
but it has left Mark Williams a
Close,
chance.
but a miss nonetheless.
It was tricky to play a safety there because all the reds are quite well opened up, courtesy of what Mark Williams, not Wark Williams, what Mark Williams did at the break off.
Pretty straightforward.
But for every good break we're having, every one visit to frame of winning, we're playing frames like this where we can't quite do it. But nonetheless, have to see how Mark Williams gets on here. We can't... Ooh, there you go. End of break. Simple as.
Top the pink.
Oh, he's got on the pink. Very nice.
And in it
I thought
goes.
there was a chance,
Simply wonderful.
14.
but he got on it well.
This is a half chance.
I don't think he's playing this, is he? Oh, he is. Lovely.
Great pot.
Well,
Looking at that shot there, it didn't look like it would go.
Superb positional
But he's
shot.
playing some good snooker at the moment.
15.
Tackling some tough pots.
He's attempting to sink this into the left corner pocket.
And you'll remember in last episode when he was just whacking anything and I was like, oh god, here we go.
He's just looking to drop this
It's
in
enough to
gently.
unnerve anybody.
26.
It's a tight one though, but it's there, it's dropped. Good shot.
27.
Don't really see the need for playing a blue here if he's going to try and open these up. Just think he'd play the loose one, but no, he's not hit any of them, but he's nicely played, very nicely played there for that one on the cushion, or for the fairly straight one to the other pocket.
Now, can he drop this into the
Yep.
right corner?
That's what I meant. It's a good shot.
Down it goes.
Tell you what, it's an awkward one today, weather-wise.
And on
In the
ball
outside
though,
world, it's a little bit too warm to not have the window open, but it's a little bit chilly to have the window open, so what balance do you go with? Tricky. Anyway, break of 40 so far from Mark Williams. It looks like he's got a fairly decent chance of bringing this back to 4 each straight away. It's been that kind of game. We play a good frame, then he plays a good frame.
critical here.
41.
And he got away with that a little, you have to say. That could have gone very wrong.
48. 49.
But the way he opened up those reds, I'm pretty much in no doubt now he's going to win this.
52.
He's left that longer than he would have wanted. Should be fine to pot it though. He is ranked 4th in the world for goodness sake, and he's not called the Welsh potting machine for nothing.
60.
This is a great game so far. Again, it looks like it's going to go level. And I wouldn't be too surprised if this session ends 6 each. We've just got to take the opportunities where we can. So just the yellow just the colour needed, the yellow, the blue needed.
He just needs the blue here.
And he's done it.
No problem there.
And
So
that
it's back
effectively
to 4
shuts
each,
out the
back
opponent
level.
in this frame.
66.
So an interesting start to this session.
67.
Might well be on for the century here. Not the full clearance because of course we got the red and the green at the start of the frame. We were first in here. Seems a long time ago now.
80.
So break of 81 needs black, red, probably black again. Ooh,
88.
got away with that. Thought he'd just mucked that up. So that's 89. He's going for the blue, I would say. Might go for the pink. Yep, going for the blue. So 94.
94.
So we'll need yellow, green and brown. And we've got our first century of the session.
Well positioned for the green.
96.
Ooh, that's a little bit awkward. I think he might just miss out here. And he's not playing the pot. That's a real shame. That is a real shame. So Mark Williams just comes short of the century of a break of 99. Very good break of 99. And that is enough to secure frame number 8.
Well, this is developing into a very tight match. Both players refusing to give any ground here.
Whoever the other finalist is must be a little bit worried because this is very high quality snooker when the one player gets in, and that's a cracking break off. Very nice. Just get to this edge red. A little bit close to the brown and we might have got the snooker. Looks like Mark Williams just got a little bit too close to the brown there.
Playing this with a lot of power.
Amazing how you can play with all that power and only end up there. Just depends on the amount of cannons you have, I suppose. So blue it is.
The long pot's on, and he's going for it.
Ooh, that was close.
That's right out of
Another
the
inch to the right and that would have missed.
6.
Looking to play this with a lot of power.
Another good split of the reds.
What he was hoping for.
And luckily we're fairly straight on the blue. So this looks yet another good opportunity to take the lead in this match. Be good to get a run going there, wouldn't it? Try and win 2 on the bounce. But that being said, it's still very early on in this frame. So it's not over yet.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Really well played.
12.
Wasn't as quick as I'd have hoped that.
13.
Didn't play as fast as I hoped. So green it is here.
Half a chance here.
Thought that would have come off the cushion and been a bit straighter on the blue, but it wasn't. But because we've got a few shots on here, it's absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about.
16.
Certainly in the short term. Not feeling good about that shot. Just positionally, it doesn't feel right. That being said, this isn't much better because we've got a whack into the reds.
Well, an excellent.
Oh, 2 for the price of 1 there.
Playing very well.
Cannon the other one in. I have to say, we're playing a little bit with a few liberties at the moment. We're getting away with a few things. That blue will go quite happily.
So, this pot into the right corner.
Give the pocket every chance. And it's there.
Excellent shot.
Good
That's a
pot.
wonderful, wonderful pot.
23.
Nah. So play the tight red. Get that out of the way. And probably play the green here.
24.
Might play the blue. But you'll notice, I mean, A, this is a semi-final, so we're not going to go around whacking anything like we usually do.
Well,
But
you
equally,
potting this
because
into
it's
the
so
right corner
close, you have
pocket.
to make sure that you don't make any silly mistakes, or else
Top
our
shot,
opponent,
well
Mark
played.
Williams, is really in.
Great technique.
And because of how close the match is,
27.
one opportunity for Mark Williams and could turn the tide.
I think he's playing this with a lot of power.
Where's the green ball going? It's okay.
28.
Bit worried then.
Well, no surprises here with the long pot attempt.
Blue's there.
Trademark long pot there. Such talent.
33.
Need to play with some sort of position though at some point, because I have to say we are riding on a bit of a wave of luck, it feels like. Once again, not the best shot.
34.
Going to play a bit of a shot to nothing here. A safety, if it doesn't go in, leaves it up the table. I don't think it will.
So close,
No.
but he's missed it. That'll annoy him.
Well, to be honest, we were, as I've said, really, we were a little bit uncomfortable all frame there. Don't know really what happened.
So, this pot into the right
But he's
corner.
missed the red. That's what I was hoping for.
Loose play
But where's this
back,
red going?
you'd expect from a player of his quality.
Whew, thank God for that. He didn't deserve that with the kind of shot he played there. We probably did. So chance number 2. I have to feel we've got away with that a little bit. Because it wasn't the best of safety shots. Wasn't aiming to be a safety really, just more a shot to nothing. I think Mark Williams will be pretty gutted about that though, because it was a chance.
7.
Much like us. We know how much of a threat the other player is.
This looks relatively easy.
Bloody hell, it's amazing the pace of the table, how it changes like that. I thought that would have been pretty straight on the pink. Well, how wrong was I? Of course, we can't get the blue. It's going to have to be a light tap on the yellow, really, here. And then tap the red into the corner pocket. But it's okay.
10.
So fairly straightforward red to get onto the blue. And we'll have to see how we can go from there. Or potentially the pink actually here. Yeah, pink seems like a better idea. It depends if the red goes to the... let's have a look. We can probably play with some backspin for this red. Yeah, that'll do.
He's going for the left corner pocket.
I was interrupted before I played that last red, by the way, so I feel a little bit out of sorts now.
17.
Might have noticed a bit of a cut in the video.
This red required.
But just this red required, luckily, so we can't be
Problem there.
whacked out of our comfort zone too much.
No real way for his opponent to win the frame now.
18.
And well, we led 4-3. Came back to 4-4. And now, in this game that just keeps twisting and turning, it's 5-4 to us. Just want to make sure of the probability this red, yeah, will go afterwards. So we all know the middle pocket's not very forgiving, so this is going to be fairly accurate. But it's there, good pot.
No issues there.
Well, as long as we play this red, we should be just fine to win the frame. And it's there, good split of black and pink. I don't...
25.
I'm not going to bother clearing up here. I'm just going to call it a day. I mean, there's, what, 43 left, so he's not going to do anything. We'll just pop the pink just to make sure, because we would kick ourselves if we
Centre pocket here.
ended this little bit prematurely and he came back to the table for snookers.
Nicely done.
31.
Maybe in a game with less risk and less on the table, then I wouldn't worry about it so much. But as I've said before, this is so close that every frame is just about crucial.
We know what a prolific long potter he is, so I'd assume he'd take this on.
Good blue there. And actually, I'm trying my best not to give a potting chance, not to tempt me. It's worth going for this red. I don't think it will. No, it probably won't go. So Just going to play up behind the red. He's definitely not going to come back now because there's only 35 left on the table. We lead by 71. And the frame gets to us, the third frame of today's episode.
And that is the frame. Well played.
Thank you. The 10th frame. Mark Williams to break.
Still quite unbelievable how this game is going. Frame 10 now. On the balance of what's happened recently, you would expect Mark Williams to go and win this frame, wouldn't you? But we've got an early chance here. Always a little bit awkward though, playing these at the start of a frame. So I think it might just be worth a hit and hope. Red's there, and that's a nice shot. And funnily enough, because the cue ball's travelled, we might have a decent chance to get on the blue. But as soon as it's quite early on in the frame and there's a decent chance, I'm not going to take that risk. Just going to go for the blue. And come back down the table for a red. Would be fantastic to break the duck here though. To take 2 frames in a row, get that 2-frame lead and start to build some momentum rather than this just jiggling between 1 frame, 2 frame, etc, etc for each player.
He's playing for the right corner here.
Underhit that a little. That's not going to help our cause. I was a little bit wary about that shot. So shot to nothing time on the blue.
Long pot, right up his street.
No, we've missed that by quite a way. But as I said, it was a shot to nothing. Just leaves the 1 long red on. Wasn't the best shot in the world, but can't do too much about it. But he's just playing the safety, it looks like. Don't think that was a pot attempt, but this could be a good safety. The opportunity was definitely there for Willow, but he didn't take it. Once again, another shot to nothing. No, oh, we don't hit that red. Luckily, we've brought it straight towards the cushion now, so no potting chance on that. There is a long pot on the red we've just missed. And if he pots this, it'd be crucial, but not fancying that either. But crucially, he's left us another chance.
That was a really tough shot. And it hasn't worked out all that well.
No, it hasn't, has it, for Mark Williams, unfortunately for him.
What a top pot that was.
Hit that red on the way back up, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Superb cueing.
1.
Black might actually be our easiest chance here, believe it or not.
Now, can he drop this into the right corner?
This doesn't look bad, just need a bit of luck. Nice, good shot.
He seems full of confidence.
And the way the cue ball's landed,
8.
it's very nice. As I said, it probably was our easiest shot, our best chance.
9.
Don't know if you could hear Cass, and there's a bird there somewhere. Cassie's my dog's name, by the way, for people that are a little bit confused. She always likes to make some sort of cameo on the snooker videos. She rarely does it on any of the other ones. Either that or an F1 car, I suppose, or something else. It's a bit too loud to notice the dog.
This is a half chance.
Bit like, oh, well, when I start to ramble, that is a little bit of a silly thing to do, but we've got away with it.
Neil Robertson, 16.
Tough shot, and it's always tricky to get to that middle pocket, but let's see. He's been flirting behind, trying to get behind that green ball all day in this frame. Not all day in terms of all of the frames, but in this frame he's been trying to get it behind the green, and it's not worked out in any circumstance, really. So we get away with missing that red. It was a tough shot to the middle pocket. Maybe shouldn't have played it with power, but he's trying the double potentially on that red, and that was a good attempt, but he's left that red on. That was always going to be the risk. He played that with pace, and as I said, that was always going to be the risk.
Lots of power on this shot.
What a wonderful pot.
It's a nice pot.
Just look at that for a positional shot. Superb.
Great stuff.
1.
Does pink go here? Certainly does.
Well, he's taking it on to the left corner.
Looks pretty good to me.
No problem there.
He's left that a little bit more tricky than he would have liked.
Yeah, I do agree.
7.
Just got to play this nice and soft. Get on the black. We might well have to look at open up this pack.
8.
Good split. That's really opened the
Good
table
split.
up
We've
here.
done it twice. We've split the reds twice, and that's worked out quite nicely. Starting with a fairly straightforward pot. Straight as you like, really. Can pick our position with the black. And if we keep going like this, which we should do, I don't want to jinx it just yet though, but if we keep going like this, we have got a very good chance, for the first time in the game, to take a 2-frame lead. And at this point, particularly at this midpoint in the match, I think it would be crucial. It would be great to take a 2-frame lead. Just give the pocket every chance while just adjusting
Slot this into
the trajectory of the cue ball very slightly. But it was a nice shot.
An excellent pot.
Wonderful pot. Outstanding effort.
24. 29.
Been a good session of snooker from us so far. Remember that since he won that... Was it... What frame? Oh, you idiots! Oh, for goodness sake. I don't know why I do talk.
Neil Robertson, 29.
I said it would be so important to take a 2-frame lead, and to be honest,
To the right corner.
I'd be very surprised if Willow didn't clear up now. I need to make sure I don't do that so often. When I start rambling, I lose a bit of focus, and sometimes it can be quite detrimental. And I'll be very surprised if Mark Williams doesn't clear up here. But what I was going to say was that since he won that 8th frame, he hasn't potted a single ball. But of course, that record has gone to pot a bit now.
Nicely onto the colour.
4.
59 remaining here, so that's a nice shot. Really nice. 59 remaining, 41 behind, so needs to clean a fair amount of these balls up to have a hope of winning the frame.
17.
That's actually 50. It's 59 remaining now, isn't it? Yeah.
18.
So he looks pretty good. 51 remaining with the red, with the blue. Sorry. So 27 behind with 51 remaining. So it looks good. Ball certainly in Mark Williams' court. Always the advantages, typically, with the player on the table. And that is a little bit disappointing to have given him that chance. We developed quite a nice break, and I think if we'd have won that frame 2-0, if you like, in terms of Mark Williams not potting a ball, we've got a real chance of building some momentum. We might well still have it. I can't see it, but you just never know. You just do never know.
31.
Giving himself the tighter red there than if that was the plan all along.
32.
I have to say he looks good though now, but that is a bit awkward.
No more than half a chance here.
But he's been a long potting machine so far this game. So many pots that you thought, I don't fancy him doing that. He's potted.
40. 45.
So with 27 left on the table, he's 5 behind us, so just the colours to go.
47.
He's made a mess of that though. Unless he wants to try and go for the snooker. Well, no, that's kind of all vanished. Any hope of that.
That's an excellent
Try and get
shot.
this cue ball at the table. Come on, behind the brown, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Ah! Ooh.
That's a shocker.
Yeah, it is. Just wants to confirm them saying that, and that is a bit gutting. Disappointing.
3.
Very, very nearly a good snooker.
He's aiming to sink this.
The potting chance would have been very good, though, as it was.
Well,
He's fought his way back into this frame, and he's on a real
This is
roll
a little
here.
bit tight, though, but again, you just can't rule Mark Williams out of potting this.
confident at the moment.
Yeah, that's there. So just the pink needed, as Neil Fold says, he's fought back into the frame very well. And Mark Williams
18.
makes it 5 each. I feel that was very much an opportunity. An opportunity we haven't taken. And once again, the scores are level.
That's the frame in the bag.
Well, even Stevens at the moment, with neither player able to gain an advantage.
The worrying thing is we've never fared too well historically in these sort of games when it's been very close. You'll probably remember, particularly with Mark Allen, we've had these sorts of games. Lost against him by 13 frames to 12 in the World Championships in the first season. Lost in Decider 6 frames to 5 in the Dapperbet Masters in Season 1. So when it's close, historically it's never gone too well for us.
That's a really good safety.
Which just worried me a little bit about, really we should have took that frame. Be 2 frames up, 6-4 up, and the minimum we can end the session with is it being 6 each. And now the worry is Mark Williams could end this session ahead with that new bit of motivation he's got. Hadn't potted anything for about a frame and a half. But we can't look back too much, can't get too miserable again. What's happened has happened. You can only influence what happens in these next few frames now before
So he's looking
the
to
second
play safe
interval.
again. This is fascinating.
Tell you what, this has been safety galore so far.
He needs good control over the pace of the white with this shot.
Hopefully the blue covers that red. Don't think it does.
He's taking this red on.
It's been pretty rare that Mark Williams has got the first chance in a frame. But now it's him with a potential chance to take 2 in a row.
6.
Just left 1 loose red. Bit of a shot to nothing really, I think that blue was. Didn't want to whack the reds open unless it went wrong, which is completely understandable. I bet he feels the same as us, in that, you know, he's got a good chance now. It could have been 6-4 to us.
Well, he's looking at potting.
It's
this.
gone his way and it being 5 each, and so now he's got to take the most of it.
7.
Got to make the most of it even, not take the most of it.
Tricky pot along the
Tricky
cushion
black,
here.
surely he's not going for this. He is. Lovely. Black's gone back on its spot though, so, ooh, can just about get to that red. He's a very lucky man.
14. 15.
He's getting the breaks at the moment, pardon the pun.
20.
But he's playing some nice snooker. Exactly what you'd expect.
In gently.
And this sort of break so far just highlights the opponent that we're up against. When he's in, he's got a real chance, and that was a nice split.
28.
But he's unfortunately not really
He's aiming
got
for
away
six.
with it. Oh, I didn't think he could get to that red. But he's got there, and it looks pretty good. It'll just bounce off the left jaw and in. Nice.
Nicely done.
Can he do this in one visit? This would be the royal turnaround. Really would. The big turnaround. Could have been 6-4.
To sink this into
However, if he does this in one visit, it could well be 6-5 to Willow.
playing for the middle pocket.
40.
Whatever happens here, I just still get the sense, even after this session, that it's going to be a fascinating third session. As I think all the frames have been so far, it's been a fascinating match. I've really enjoyed it.
46.
Really enjoyed this match like no other I have in recent times. I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed them. As you know, I've been saying repeatedly that I'm really enjoying my snooker stuff, but this is a cracking battle we've got going on at the moment.
The long pot's on, and he's going for it.
Brilliant blue. His long potting attempts have been flawless so
Chance,
far.
but a chance nonetheless.
Good red.
53.
And at the click of a finger, really, he's already cleaned up 9 reds, and this could be... Oh, I thought he was going to go into the reds there.
What he was intended.
No, can't do it in one visit. I was just about to say, I only needed a few more balls. And that was a strange shot, and he's potted the
He'll
pink.
be disappointed with that.
Goodness knows what he's done there.
Mark Williams, 58. Neil Robertson, 6. Free ball.
Decision time here.
We might as well play him with a
Well,
free
he's
ball.
taken the free ball option here.
Going to play the brown. Nothing to lose really here. We were the man behind in the frame. Just need to remember to line it up for a colour next, not a red. But we've missed the brown. Wow. It was always going to be tricky. Not left too much on, though.
Not easy with the rest.
But he's potted it. Awesome.
1.
Should have made more of that. Perhaps should have forced him to continue, but we didn't.
6.
And that's what's happened. He's got away with that.
7.
By my calculation, he just needed that blue. Yep.
And that shuts the door on his
That
opponent.
is what can happen in snooker. It's only been 5 or 6 minutes. I know we fast forwarded this, but in real time, let's say it's been a maximum of 10 minutes. 10 minutes ago, we thought we'd got a great opportunity to get 6-4 up. We were nearly there.
13.
We made one mistake. And 10 minutes later,
18.
it's Mark Williams who has the lead. It's a whole heap of pressure on us now, I feel, to take this last frame. Or else we are on fight back mode in the last session.
The rest won't make this any easier.
He's playing some cracking snooker though now.
23.
Might struggle here. Yeah, not interested. So, we'll concede the frame there. And it's Mark Williams 6, Neil Robertson 5. And in the final frame of today's session,
The snooker.
I feel like we need
Frame
something.
conceded. Frame. Mark
Or else Mark Williams will go into those last 7 frames as a maximum.
So he's
7
opened up
frames
one
to
frame.
5 up.
He'll be looking to apply some pressure on his opponent in this frame.
I agree. You really get the sense that this next frame is pretty critical to the outcome of this match.
Thank you.
I always feel that Neil Folds and David Hendon talk a load of rubbish most of the time. But there, they are pretty bang on. This, I would say, is the most crucial frame of the match. And already we've made a mistake, misjudged that. I thought we didn't need as much power to get it behind the bulk line.
Sure what happened
But he's
there.
got an early
It's a
chance.
poor result.
He's potted the red. That's all he did in the last frame. He didn't whack anything open, didn't go for anything fancy, just played the few loose balls till he got a real chance. And Mark Williams has a chance to go in at the end of session 2 with a lead of 7 frames to 5. And if that happens, we need to come out of the box firing in that third session. It's a setback if it happens. It's annoying. And it will mean that Mark Williams will have 3 frames in a row. But if we just take that out of our minds, if we just remember that we've played some really good snooker and we can get back into this, then that's all the belief we need. Ultimately, fate will decide who gets through to the final.
12.
The rest
But already,
makes this a little more difficult.
that is end of break. And I'm not sure what he's done there.
Mark Williams 12.
He wants a little nudge across the cushion, I think. This red... Ooh, I'm not so sure now. I think it just about goes past these others. Gonna play it nice and soft anyway to give the ball every chance across the cushion. Yep, just go past. That's a cracking pot, lovely.
1.
Crowd seem to like that one. So now we've got to take this chance. And if we take the chance, it goes to a best of 7. Any frame where a player is 1 frame ahead is a massive swing. Going to play the pink here actually just to see if we can open up the reds a little.
The split looks good to me.
That was what we planned. Lovely. And that is a real chance now. So, I promise, no more rambling. Let's just focus on the snooker till the end of the episode because this is a very important phase. It's a nice shot. Needed to play that at the right power.
16. 23.
Play the red to the middle here instead of the plan we were originally going for. We want to make sure it's Mark Williams kicking himself. We felt a lot of regret in the last few minutes. A lot of frustration. We want to make sure that Mark Williams knows how that feels. Get rid of this red up bulk.
Played that very well.
Just means if there is a chance that we have to play a safety, that there's less risk involved in it. That was always going to be a little bit awkward.
30.
Brown should be okay here though. Gently does it.
34.
As I've said, just nice and quiet now. Nice and
Well, he's
focused.
looking at potting this into the right corner pocket. In it goes.
That wasn't ideal.
That could have finished a little better.
Agreed.
35.
Blue then, it is. Not much choice in the matter. Overhit it for the, well, underscrewed it in the end for the black. But we're always handy at a long pot. Goodness me, this needs to go well.
Fuming about that.
Would you believe it? Would you, Adam and Evie? Couldn't have gone worse. Could not have gone worse. Position was poor at the end of the day, and playing that blue was always going to be a risk.
40.
That's a massive disappointment. Now is certainly not the time to lapse into this poor play.
1.
Has to be said, Willow has got a great chance now.
8. 9. 16.
Getting rid of those two on the cushion was where I thought he might have a little bit of a spot of bother, but with how Mark Williams has been playing so far and given the run he's on, I can't see any sort of opposition for him winning this frame now. Just got to hope for the best. I hope we get another chance.
This should be straightforward enough.
23.
We often use the word hindsight, and if it was another world, another situation, can't help but feeling that if we'd have took that 6-4 lead, how this would have all ended. We could have been 8-4 up at the interval. Probably wouldn't have been. Probably would have been 7-5 to us, or at least 6-6. But it's amazing how the tide of a game can change just with one shot. So he takes the lead.
Easy one, but a half chance.
Lovely. Nice shot.
36.
So with 35 remaining on the table, it looks like he's going to be 16 ahead.
44.
Now usually, long pot, not a pretty big problem, but Mark Williams has handled those absolutely brilliantly so far this game. Plays the blue, that puts him 22 ahead.
50.
And this yellow and green is all he needs, but he's missed the yellow. I thought it was strange in going for that, and all of a sudden, well, we get another chance. I thought it was very bizarre, him going for that. Really weird.
Great opportunity this.
Couldn't agree more, folds. Clean these colours up.
2.
And it's 6 each. I'm feeling quite nervous now,
So, this
because
pot
this is
into the
just so
right corner.
massive. The swing here is massive for this game.
5.
We need all of them. And if we get the blue,
9.
the pink, and the black, we go in for the last session frame. The last session of 4 frames.
Well, no surprises here
The last
with the
session of
long
4
pot
frames. Last session of 7 frames. and make it a best of 7.
Wonderful.
14.
Not going to say anything just yet, but this looks pretty good now. We've got past the tricky bit. Just the black needed. And we've lined ourselves up nicely for it. And I don't know how this has happened.
This goes in, that'll be the frame.
But we've done it. By hook or by crook, at the end of the second session, it is as close as it was in frame 1, in frame 7, and now it is in frame 13. So in the next episode, it's going to be an absolute belter because we've been inseparable so far. 6 frames each. The game is a best of 19 frames, but now it is simply a best of 7. I have a feeling this session is going to go all the way to the end. I really feel it is. I'm just worried. I'm just going to check for my own sanity we've not had the glitch again. Whew. Oh, thank God. I thought we'd had the glitch, the classic glitch where it goes to 0-0. I was just worried about the commentator, well, the referee saying that we'd gone to frame 13 break. I thought I'd exited it too quickly, so I was worried about that. I was pretty anxious, but it is 6 frames each as we enter the final session. As I've just said, I think it is going to be a session, unless one player takes the initiative, that plays out until the end. You would feel. But it's going to be a great... I can't believe we're only in the semi-final. I mean, if we get through this, we've got a whole big final to play. But it's going to be big to get through to the final. And whoever gets through this semi-final is really going to feel special because it's been a brilliant game. A fantastic game of snooker. And a big confidence boost to us, whether we go out or not. It's going to be disappointing if we go out, sure, but we've got a cracking session to come up. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be informed when that video and any other snooker video comes out on the channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed that session as well, and comment your thoughts on this match. Who do you think is going to win the semi-final? As always, thank you so much for your support on these videos, and until the next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.